Oh, hello. Welcome to the ABCs of Piano. I'm your host, Kevin O'Neill. Today we're going to learn how to play Imagine by John Lennon. Each week we're going to be playing a song by breaking it down into its verse, bridge, and chorus. We're going to learn how to play the song by learning first the left-hand harmonizing chords and then the right-hand melody. We're going to combine these two parts to make up the entire song. And as we go, we're going to break it down and teach you each part so you can play along at home. So, if you guys are ready, get to your keyboards and let's get ready to start the lesson. Hi guys. To start off today, we're going to learn the song Imagine by the great John Lennon. In order to learn it, we're going to break it down into its three parts. It's A, the verse, B, the bridge, and C, the chorus. We're going to start off with the A part, which is the verse. I'm going to break it down into a left-hand pattern and a right-hand pattern. In the left hand are the harmonizing chords, and in the right hand is the melody. And I think you'll find that both patterns, once you learn them, are pretty simple. So before I break it down, I'm going to play it for you, just so you remember how it sounds. So there you have it, the A part, or verse, of Imagine by John Lennon. Now, let's take a look at how we play the right hand. All right, so all of Imagine is in the key of C. This right here is the C note. There are several C notes on the piano, and all of the white notes on the piano are in the key of C. So all of these notes are usable in the song Imagine. Okay? And to start off, we have three chords in the verse, and I'm going to teach you those chords. The first chord is the C chord. Okay? Now let me break that down for you. The first chord, the first note in that chord is C. The next note is E, and the next note is G. Okay? So if you guys can at home match those notes, you're playing a C chord. The next note, the next chord in the verse is the C major 7 chord. And this is very simple. You have your C chord here with your C, E, and G. And then you simply add a B to make a C major 7 chord. And you can hear almost when I hit that B, you could almost hear the tune of Imagine there in your head. Okay? So those are the first two chords, C and C major 7, just adding this B. The next chord, the third chord, is the F chord, and that's going to be C, F, A. Okay, these three notes right here. Okay, so we have C, C major 7, and F. Okay, C, E, G, that's your C chord. C, E, G, B. It's your C7, C major 7 chord. And then C, F, A. That's your F chord. All right? you're going to put them together like this. And if you want, you can add a little flavor to it. But don't get hung up on that. Just work on mastering these chords. Okay? So now that we've learned the harmonizing chords, we can learn the melody. The melody of the verse in Imagine is so simple. It's only 3 notes. So you've got 3 chords and 3 notes. Once you learn these, you're putting it together, and then before you know it, you're playing a song. So the piano can be very simple. It's just a matter of practicing these concepts. So let's go ahead and take a look at the melody. The first note in the melody is the G. The second note is the B. And then the third note is the A. So it's just these 3 notes that are all right next to each other, and you simply go like this. You might notice there's something missing to the melody, and that's this sound. The kind of do-do-do-do-do. And what happens there is John Lennon uses an accidental. It's an A sharp note, and it's a black key, and it doesn't belong in the key of C, but because the Beatles were very advanced songwriters, and accidentals are commonly found in music, many of their songs have accidentals. But that's okay. It's just one more note to add to the equation. So we have A, G, 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 B, E, 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 B, A. I'm sorry about that. That's my mistake. And then you just go up to this accidental here, the A sharp, and then slide down to the B. So take a look again, and I'll say the notes correctly this time. A, B, B. Well, hold on just one moment. G, 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 B, A sharp, B, A, G, 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 B, A sharp, B. So there you have it. It's really simple. Now it's just a matter of putting the harmony and the melody together. So there you have it, guys. Those are the harmonizing chords and the melody notes to the verse of Imagine by John Lennon. In this next segment, we're going to take a look at the bridge section of Imagine. Okay, so now we're going to learn the bridge section of Imagine. First by learning the left-hand chords, and then by learning the right-hand melody line. So let's take a listen to how the bridge section sounds, just to remind you of what you're going to be playing, just to give you sort of a musical idea of what you're going to be playing. So as you can see, this is a short little section, but it acts as a bridge between the verse, which we just learned, and the chorus, which we're going to learn in a few moments. So without much more beating around the bush, let's get into the right-hand chords. The first chord in the bridge section is going to be a chord that we've already learned, the F chord. So let's take a look on the keyboard at how this chord looks, just to refresh our memories. The F chord is going to include the C, the F, and the A. So let's just take a look at that one more time. We have the C, the F, and the A. I'm going to press them all down. That's going to be the F chord. I'm keeping my fingers out of the way, but if I were to play it normally, it would just look something like this. Okay, so we know that chord already from our verse. And the next chord in this segment is going to be the D minor chord. We just learned the F major chord. Now we're going to learn the D minor chord. The D minor chord starts out on the D, which is one up from C. The D here goes, and then the next note is the F, and the final note in the D minor chord is the A. Okay, so there we have our D minor chord. Now the next chord in our sequence is going to be the G chord. The G chord is similar to the D minor chord. You just move your two fingers here up a notch. But let's go back and see how it breaks down. You start out on the D, go to the G, and then to the B. Okay? So we have our G chord. Now, we're going to go from that G chord in sequence to the F. We're going back down to the F. Sometimes in chord progressions, you play a chord multiple times. We're going to go back down to the F, which remember is the C, the F, and the A, and then quickly back up to the G, which is the D, the G, and the B. So in a little bit closer to real time, it looks like this. You have your F chord, your D minor chord, your G chord, down to your F chord, and back to your G chord. Now the melody goes something like this. Sounds familiar, right? We start out on the C note. We go down to the A, back up to the C, up to the E, down to the D, and now we're going to the B. Then the C, and then finally the D. Okay? We'll do that one more time because it's a little bit involved. C, A, C, E, E, D, B, 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 C, D. There you have it, guys. That's the bridge. It's going to lead us right into our chorus. Now let's hear again and see on the keyboard what it looks like when the chords harmonize the melody. One more time. Okay, guys, and that's setting us up for our chorus, which we'll go into next. Hi, in today's musical notes segment of the show, we're going to take a look at intervals. An interval is a certain type of chord, and we've actually been using them quite a bit today as we learn Imagine. So we're going to go take a look at the piano and see what intervals are all about. So we'll start explaining musical intervals by using the F chord. This is the F chord that we've learned so far. We have the C, the F, and the A in this order. And in the F chord, these are the notes: C, F, and A. But we're actually playing an F interval because we have the notes in an unusual order. As you can see, if we were to play the chord with the F being the bottom note, we would have to take this C note and move it to the top of the chord. And that's our more traditional F chord. So we have the F, the A, and the C right over here. We play the F chord in Imagine down here because it's just a more convenient way to transition from the C chord. All we have to do is move our fingers right here, and we've got our F chord. So when thinking about intervals, it's important to keep in mind that all of the notes stay the same, but the positions of the notes change. Instead of playing a C down here, I can play it on top here, and as long as these two notes are the same, and I've just moved from a C to a C, all the notes in the chord are still the same. So as you can see, because the chord has 3 notes, there should be 3 different intervals. There's the F. This is the most normal way to play the F chord, with the F on the bottom, the A in the middle, and the C on the top. Then you can put the A on the bottom, have the C go second, and have the F go on top. Now we haven't used this in Imagine, but it could come in handy if you're playing a G chord and need to transition to an F, or playing a B chord and need to transition to an F. Okay? The next interval is the one we already know from Imagine, with the C on the bottom, the F next, and the A on top. And then we have our third chord, which is our normal F chord, with the F right here, the A here, and the C here. And for the most part, as you can see, the notes stay the same. It's just a matter of convenience for what notes you want to choose, in what order you want to play the chord. This can be done with all different chords. All different chords can be put in different positions based on the order of the notes that you have in the chord. And we're going to see this with some other chords that we learned today in Imagine. So there you have it, all of the different intervals using an F major chord. Okay guys, now we're going to go into our chorus. We just played the bridge part, and you guys remember we just played and if you're familiar with the song, you probably know that the next part goes something like you-hoo-hoo, and that's going to sound like this. And then we're right at our chorus. So we're going to go into the left-hand chords in the chorus, then we'll do the right-hand melody for the chorus. So if you guys take a look here on the keyboard, I'll show you what to do, and you're going to recognize a lot of the chords that we've already played that are going to be used in this chorus. Okay. So the first key we start out with, the first chord we're going to start out with is the F chord. It's going to look a little bit different in the chorus because we're putting the notes in different places. Before, we played it like this, with the C on the bottom, the F in the middle, and the A on top. Now, that's one way to play the F chord, but there are many ways to play the F chord. As long as all the notes are underneath your fingers, it's an F chord. But there's different ways to order it to give it a different harmonic quality. So for the chorus, we're going to leave the F and the A right where they are, and we're going to take this C and put it on top. So I'm just going to rearrange my hands. I have the F, A, and C. So there I have my F chord. Same chord, just sounds a little bit more appropriate like this for the way we use it in the chorus. Okay? And the next chord I'm going to use is another one we already know, and it's the G. The G we learned like this, with the D here, the G here, and the B here. Same thing we did with the F chord. We're going to take the bottom note and put it on top. Okay? So it's still the same notes in the chord, it's just structured a little bit differently. Okay, so we have C, B, D, right here. Okay, guys? So it's going to be the F to the C to the G. Okay? And then another one that we know already is going to be the C. But just to review it, it's in the verse, C, E, and G, right here. All right. Now, the fourth chord in the chorus is a tricky one. Actually, it's simple to learn. It's just a little tricky because this chord is not in the key of C. These are all the chords in the key of C. They use all these white keys here. This chord is an E major key, and it is an E major chord, and it uses an accidental. Remember the accidental from before? The black key that didn't belong in the scale, but was used anyway to create a special tone for the song. We have another one of those in the E chord. So let's just go ahead and learn the E chord. E, A flat, this black key right here. So we have the E, the A flat, and the B. And that's the E major chord. Okay, so we have F. Hold on, let me get my fingers out of the way here for you guys. We have F, G, C, and then E, E major. Okay, so those are the harmonizing chords. Here's the melody. Okay, so we're going to start out with our C. Then we're going to go to B, then to A, and then back to the C, then to the E, okay, and if you guys notice, I was playing this A flat up here, and that's because that corresponds with the E major chord. So when I'm playing that E major chord, I'm just walking down here, back up to the melody. All right, guys, so let's put the melody and the harmony together, and we'll see how it sounds. So there you have it, guys. That is Imagine by John Lennon. If you put all three parts together, you'll have played the song. I always find that the best way to start playing is to play a song because it's fun and it helps you learn. It's a fun way to learn the piano. Just keep in mind that the melody sounds naked without the harmony, and the harmony has no tune. So the two parts are dependent on one another, and that's a very important part of playing the piano, is to learn which chords correspond with which melody notes. That's what we're aiming to do here, and I hope that you'll continue to learn more about harmonization with our next song, which is going to be Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues. So stay tuned.